The last pillar, which you do particularly well, you do all of this well, but particularly well is the sell by chat. I know there's a lot to it. We've only got a finite amount of time, but what are some of the things that people do traditionally wrong in sell via chat? And then where do they need to rectify that to get some wins?
Yeah, probably the most common thing is, not introducing yourself to all your new friends and followers on social media. So a lot of people will focus, especially on the Instagram side, they'll obsess about how many followers they have, but they actually haven't communicated with all the followers they do have. So just making sure you introduce yourself. It could be as simple as saying, "Hey, Dan, thank you so much for following me on Instagram. Where are you based? I live in Manly." Right? Just starting to, start that conversation. But then definitely on, social media, like anything in life, is the more output you have, the better results you get. So say, for example, if you have myself and Dan, if Dan sends 100 messages a day on social media and I send 5, is Dan's going to absolutely annihilate me in terms of the sales. But then the final one is you've got to have a framework or a script to move people through from saying hello to building rapport down to potentially getting in a sales consultation, whether it's face-to-face or over the phone. But just having a basic framework that you follow is absolutely integral in that process.
Love that. So 3 really simple tips. Number 1, does anyone that's got any kind of level of interaction with you, liking a post, commenting, following your page, start a conversation. All right. So very, very easy, that one. Number 2, it's a numbers game. The person that has the most amount of conversations is going to win. Number 3, don't wing this. You don't wing a sales call. This is a sales conversation. So you need to have a script that you follow. So there's a real coherence to the conversation itself. Love that, mate. Now, who would you recommend the people listening have a look at from a social media perspective in terms of best practice, maybe on some of those connection posts, maybe from some of those results in advance? Is there some people that you would recommend that would be really inspiring? Who have you been inspired by in this space?
In the fitness space specifically, or the space that I'm in, Dan?
In the fitness space in particular.
Knees Over Toes, I believe, does it the best in the world in terms of results in advance and really actionable content. In terms of messaging and very clearly knowing what you stand for and what you stand against would be a guy named James Smith. He's a UK-based guy. He's an absolute cack. And in terms of like really, really good workouts and nutrition type of marketing that you can use, a really, really cool guy named Marcus Philly over in the States. They're predominantly a lot on like Instagram, but you'll be able to transfer that content over. I think they're the creme de la creme at the moment from what I've seen.
Yeah, I would agree. I think all 3 are absolutely incredible at what they do, and really what you can see in practice is those principles that Jimmy's talked about.
I really like Knees Over Toes. Like, you could never pay Knees Over Toes a cent and fix your knee issues. It's the way that he articulates his content, which is quite complex, down to dumb it down to everyone's level, and the way that he's positioned himself in the market is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. He's very, very good, and he's obviously built quite an audience, and you'll be able to see why he's been able to build fairly quickly. And it's because of the value he puts out to the world and how he communicates and presents. Now, Jimmy, for a lot of the people there, they're probably saying this organic marketing game sounds okay. I am interested. I do want to grow my business. What would be your words of encouragement to them? How do they get started? And how do they really start to become better at this game?
Yeah, so I guess the first thing is you've got to know why you want to do organic marketing, because it does take time. It's like anything in life and business. So you've got to attach it to your why of like, why do you want to grow your business? Why do you want to help more people? Usually there's one personal element, like you want to earn more money and, not worry about, travel that you have coming up and get a cool house and stuff like that. But then there's usually an external why as well, that you might be really passionate to help like 30,000 people or whatever it might be. So you need to connect with that, because otherwise you'll have trouble implementing everything, especially when it gets tough. And then if you're just starting out, I'd recommend starting on just one social media platforms. So say, for example, our friend Dylan Fowler built an online business to 130 members just using a Facebook profile. So then what you can do is for 90 days, you can focus just on your Facebook personal profile if you like. You can still repurpose your content to Instagram and TikTok if you like, but you're spending 90% of your time on that singular platform, learning how to grow that, learning how to scale that, because then you can easily transfer your skills over to another platform. E.g., at the moment, TikTok's really popular. Now, if you understand the concepts of marketing and influence, then you're able to transfer what you've learned over those years over to TikTok, because you're learning a different way to position your content. So focus on one way for 90 days to 120 until you're getting 5 to 10 bookings a week. And then you can start to focus heavily on another platform if you need to, because you've developed the skills on that singular platform. And that's where most people go wrong, is they'll decide to market organically and they'll do like YouTube shorts, they'll do Facebook, they'll do Instagram, they'll do TikTok, when they don't have the time or team to implement 4 platforms. So just focus on one. You'll be able to get, I think at the current time of shooting this video, we get 17 bookings a week from my personal Facebook, 9.4 from my Instagram. That's bookings attended. So you guys, if you could just get one of those accounts working, is in a fitness business, that will help you grow by 2 to 3 members a week.
Super powerful. Less is more. Simplicity scales. And try not to chase those multiple rabbits, because you'll end up with none. So really choose that platform where a majority of your clientele is, master that. And then obviously you can build layers and stack upon that